Mr. Dwayne Brown received his undergrad in communications and TV film at Cheyney University. He later went to study at New York University's Tisch Film School. He currently works at Comcast as a freelance cameraman and for the NHL Capitals in their replay room for reviews. He also worked for the NBA in their entertainment department for the LA Lakers, creating game highlights. So after interviewing Mr. Dwayne Brown, I have about 7 questions that I would love to highlight that just speak on how he entered into this field and just like advice that he could give a student that wants to go into this field. Whether you start off now or you realize this is your passion after you graduate college. So Mr. Brown highlighted that his passion started when he was 9 years old. He used to visit his aunt every year in Southern California, and this particular year, Universal Studios had just opened up. And during that time, they just focused on showing you how they made videos in Disney, and that's where his video passion started. Now, the sports side of his passion started because he's been playing basketball his whole life. So, Mr. Brown's career actually started from a speeding ticket that he got in LA, and there you have to do volunteer hours. So someone he was volunteering with actually worked for the LA Lakers, and as they spoke and throughout their volunteer hours, the guy learned about Mr. Brown's passion in film. So he gave him a contact to actually be a part of the LA Lakers video entertainment department, which shows you that it's not only what you know, but who you know and who knows you, which we talk about every day in class. So from there, Mr. Brown highlighted like a typical day when he worked for the LA Lakers. He would log the highlights of the previous games, and then they would create promotion videos, for the next game to promote like everything that happened to get people to want to come to the games more. After highlighting what he does in this career, Mr. Brown spoke on the best way to enter in this field, advice he could give, skills that you need, and job opportunities, which he reminds you that it's endless in this field compared to back then when he first entered. Mr. Brown highlighted a couple of topics that really hit home to me. One was just being an African American in this field, you always have to work 10 times harder, and you always have to keep a positive attitude because people want that. They want to see that no matter what they have you doing, that you still care. Just always keep a smile on your face. Another thing he highlighted was that in this field, you have to pay your dues. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter if you're getting someone's coffee, making someone's copies. He just points out that it's not always glamorous and that you have to work your way up. And with saying that, he highlights something that is very helpful to all of us. These jobs aren't just advertised on the job openings. It's about who you know. So getting those internships, volunteering, putting your name out there helps you get contacts with these people. Because in this field, he speaks on how people take their team members wherever they go. And CEO can move to companies and he will want to bring all his people. So just trying to get on that person's team is probably the best thing for you to do. Because like he said, it's a competition in this field, and you have to work hard to get where you want to be. One of the last things he highlights that hits home to our class is that as a manager in the sports field, just anybody in the sports field, you need to know every aspect from marketing to advertising to human resources. You just have to have knowledge of everything, which I think we highlight a lot in our class. The last thing that Mr. Brown said to me that was very inspirational is that you don't have to be the top in the sports business to love your job. He talks about how he has his dream job now, just working in sports in the NHL as in their video department, because it combines his love for sports and his love for film, and that just in that he'll just try and recreate his brand and just establish more contacts, and that's all that matters to him. So even though it might seem like a mid-level or entry-level job, that could be someone's dream job. And so it just highlights that there's just so many opportunities in the sports field that you can love what you do no matter where you are in the hierarchy. Overall, this interview taught me a lot. I learned a lot. For example, I didn't even think about this realm of the sports field because I personally want to be an agent. So it opened my eyes into a new part of the field. Also, it gave me a new contact. Mr. Brown is actually friends with our head basketball coach, which, is endless opportunities, and I guess that's something that Mr. Lindsay wanted us to gain from these manager interviews. So I'm glad I did it with Mr. Brown.